Hello, all. First, I want to thank everybody for willingness to support, help out, building this. It's been quite the experience. Um, and as I look back on it, it really is amazing of everything that Twin Cities Rise has accomplished. And so I wanted to get back to individuals on where you can help. Um, and as I was putting it together with the attachment that is included with the email, it started to get convoluted for me. Got way too detailed. And so I said, you know what, heck with it. I'm just going to send you a Vmail, explain everything. We can get together this week and define who's going to be doing what, who's going to be supporting, how we're going to work all this stuff out as we move forward with implementing e-learning. One thing I will say that I've learned, first of all, I think the system that Twin Cities Rise has engaged with is absolutely perfect for Salesforce. Actually, it's a Salesforce app. So building it and integrating with what Twin Cities Rise was doing at the same time was perfect. The people have been great. We've been learning the system, and it's taken a little bit longer time for that learning curve to not only learn the system but develop the content that goes into the system and those things. The other thing that I've learned is as I've been researching some of these other schools that have moved to e-learning, the one piece of advice they all give to assure success in an implementation: don't try to do too much too fast. Our first week, in all honesty, is going to be getting people hooked up from Salesforce into the learning system, getting people logged on. And if we can do that in a relatively quick period of time, I think that's a huge accomplishment. So we want participants to get into the system, to get more comfortable with it, to learn and not be overwhelmed. So again, it's one of the things that we looked at as we were trying to map all of this stuff out on what we need by when, et cetera, is to really balance that is what can the participants really take as well. Because again, don't want to lose participants because they're going, you know what, you guys expected me to do way too much, way too fast. So we're looking at that balance. The other thing I think, especially from the education side, I wanted to just review real quick what the participants are going to experience as they go through. Uh, they'll be coming into different learning plans every week. This is learning plan one. Um, and they'll see this every week that simply click and they will have the simple steps that we want them to follow each week. It's more of a reinforcement for them. Make sure they attend the virtual classes, complete the projects, meet with the resource team or coaches at least once a week. That's an activity that's built in, and be engaged and participate. They will have all their virtual trainings scheduled here as well, and we're still working through the Zoom business account, pro accounts, all those things. But if they're logged into the system, all they will need to do is to click on the link will be here once we have the business account set up, and it'll take them right to the Zoom class, and it's all tracked on who's attending and all of that stuff with it. I will say that with the pro accounts that we're using now, either education services or the EI team accounts, there is a way to track attendance. You just need to go into the reports, and all the time and all of that stuff is already located there for each of the meetings. So we will need to kind of work through the details on this as we get the scheduling set up with the business accounts. Participants will then, all they need to do with the learning objects and activities for the week, those are all listed here. They'll go in and launch, I think this is Tom's video that I really like. Click on that and watch the video. They'll click on here and have a little quiz. We just want to make sure that they didn't just watch or just click and not even watch anything. So we're asking them to complete a little quiz here. They've got a video here of what we've done for the um, virtual orientation. My name is Mr. Z, and I am one of the instructors here at Twin Cities Rise. You'll be seeing me. Uh, so they'll watch that virtual orientation. We've got a little quiz for them as well, just to make sure, again, validate. Well, all the policies and procedures are in here, as well as an email signature acknowledgement as well. And we're still adjusting a couple of things out of this as well. But again, if they get into the system, they attend the virtual classes, they watch the videos on the orientation, take the quiz. We're going to be pretty satisfied with them participating with us. The other thing is each week they need to meet with their resource team. So we've got a little note here, please relevant details about your meeting. They'll be doing that and work right through the to make sure that they met with the team. Which brings us to the attachment and all that. Hopefully that just provides you some context about what they're going to be doing, what they're going to be experiencing for this. So with the May 26th, tomorrow cohort, the call center pathway, we've got I think everything pretty well established. The learning plan is done actually for the 3 weeks. We've got the schedules, the virtual classes that are going to be each week. I know Deb and Nicole are going to be taking emotional intelligence on Tuesday and Thursday. And then we've got the different ones on Wednesday. The group coaches are going to be the group team, the resource team is going to be taking the classes, virtual coaching on Mondays and Fridays. So I think that we're all set. When we move into week 4, they move into the call center pathway more. So these are the classes that are currently scheduled, working in a call center terminology. We've got some interviewing basics, mock interviews, critical thinking, and a call center wrap up. I will tell you in all, both My Road to Success and in call center, they will be taking a final assessment of all the material that they've covered for the 8 weeks. So that's where it's into the kind of the wrap up will be a review for them as well. So I know that we do have assignments here already assigned, but I'm leaving them open. If somebody wants to come in and take working in a call center, Deb, I know you have taught this a lot. And if you would like to take this in the call center terminology, more than happy. We can get that assigned. We just need to know from a Zoom standpoint, as we schedule hosts with the business account, who's going to be doing what and just getting it defined. These are the learning objects that are left to still build. We do have Equip Studios, who is developing some really cool content. We're going to be putting into the learning plans, the call center learning plans on workforce leadership and some of those types of things, working in teams. But these are the ones that we still have, we still need to build. So if anybody wants to take these and create learning plans or learning objects, and again, you can be creative. It's just reading an article and submitting an essay as a response. That is fine. If it's doing a screencast video of some of the major concepts and doing a quiz, that is fine. These are the ones that we still have to build. Take a look through those. And if there are any that you want to particularly focus on and take, we can talk about that, get it assigned, and give us the help that we're definitely going to need as we move forward with it. One of the things I know when we ask about these, it's kind of what are we looking for? What are the competencies we want to accomplish with them? So I've put together for the virtual classes what the top of mind concepts we want people to be able to cover in those when they're facilitating those classes and designing those classes for them. Um, so we've got, and I know Jason, you have done a lot with the facilities group on the interviewing basics, getting ready for the interview, getting the resumes ready. And again, remember in the new model, the resumes are going to be built by the participants and the coaches together, as opposed to employer services. So we're still working through how is all that going to work as well. We've got a mock interview for either internal staff or volunteers. Love to hear ideas on how this could be facilitated as well. For the learning objects, I've included a brief description again of what kind of the top of mind concepts we want to cover in each of the learning objects. So again, take a look through these. If there are things that you want to take on, absolutely, we will get that all of that assigned and work through the process to accommodate. Yes, then we also, this is where we probably need a little bit more work. We have a My Road to Success cohort starting June 16th. So again, we need to assign who's going to be doing emotional intelligence for this session. We're looking right now at 1:30 to 3 o'clock, so it'd be an afternoon virtual classes. These are all very flexible, but right now we needed to say, okay, 10 to 11:30 on this first cohort. Let's do 1:30 to 3 o'clock for this afternoon. You know what's pretty cool though about this too? We can do actually night classes for this because as we get this built and we do virtual sessions, we could actually do 7 o'clock to 8:30 and just assign the same stuff to them. So anyway, um, the readiness phase is all going to be the same. So nothing will need to be built out here. But for the My Road to Success, the 21st century workplace communication, verbal and nonverbal. Whoever wants to take that, build a class, build a facilitation model for it, absolutely. Critical thinking and problem solving in today's workplace. We could probably use some of the things we did in call center, but if somebody wants to take that piece, absolutely. Interviewing basics, getting ready for the interview, probably the same thing that was developed for the call center, just apply it here to the My Road. Same thing for mock interviews. And then working in teams, somebody could develop that and deliver that on these dates as well. These are the learning objects that still need to be built. 10 rules for success. I really like that concept, so I'm building that as well. Actually, I like all of these, so it's just kind of the timing of all of it. Work values. What kind of employer do you want to work for? Kind of helping we do that in My Road. Developing that learning objects, creating a personal mission statement, the art of listening, making first impressions, learning objects that we would like to include. And again, learning objects can be they're little lessons that they can be anything from a screencast to you want you to read these two things and then submit your thoughts about those. So it's really up to you on how you want to create those. I've included here, again, a description of the virtual classes and as well as the learning objects, just kind of a brief overview. Take a look through these. Which ones do you want to take on or which ones do you want to take on? And we will get that assigned, sealed, and delivered for it. The other thing we need to really focus on from an education standpoint is the workshops. Moving our workshop material from a face-to-face to a virtual environment. These will all be located in our catalog. Participants will also have access not only to the learning plan, but to our catalog. So they can take a look at some of the things that Tanika may create from getting the resources and support, or internships, which Tanea has done, and she's got all the materials for it. Backgrounds, gaps in work history. Um, and it's not saying we couldn't do a virtual class on Wednesday for any of those, or actually on Mondays or Fridays. If you wanted to pull Bill in to deliver that, that's fine. But these would all be presentations that would be out that the participant can click on and watch themselves. This will be great for Career Club. Right now, Career Club will just keep using as the virtual model that's in place now, but we need to get Career Club and the Career Club participants enrolled and participating in learning plans as well. So we can talk about this on what is the best way that we can do to create this. If we need to create them, that's fine. Or if Bill wants to create the backgrounds, gaps in work history, and using his materials, that's fine. But we need to get these created and put out on the catalog. What we will do, and actually, we would like to build a workshop for building the resume, tips for 21st century job applications, interviewing basics as well, so that people can go back, even after they've been through lessons, they can go back and refresh themselves through the catalogs as well. So there, a couple of these would need to be developed. But I know we've got all the materials. We just need to have the process in place to create them, put them out on the catalog. Oh, okay. So hopefully that provides context, that provides details. Bottom line for you, take a look at through all the activities that we've got, whether you want to facilitate, whether you want to develop learning objects or whatever. Take a look through those. We will set up a team meeting this week to talk through this. This is kind of the reverse classroom type of stuff. So you got the materials. When we get together, we can talk about where we want to go, how we want to assign, and all the timing for it for moving forward. Thanks for your help. Went longer than I thought normally does, but hope you guys have rest of a good weekend, and we will talk to you soon.